Hello, all of you. Here we begin with the revision lecture for our booster program for one of my most favorite chapter, cost accounting system. Like we have financial accounting, journal entries, debit and credit. In costing, how do you record, right? So there are two ways of recording. There are two kinds of problem in the chapters. वो फिर मैं direct jump हो जाएगा. So to give you the base, what we are going to do in this chapter. Cost accounting system says either you maintain separate books of accounts. Financial books are there, debit, credit and all, and costing books are separate. Okay, that is non-integrated. In costing books, we record so many things. Like when the raw material is purchased, we record. When raw material is issued to production, we record. When production, okay, it is going to finished goods, we record. When finished goods are sold, we record. So in non-integrated system, in the costing, you record so much. Whereas in the financial accounts, we record the purchase of the raw material and we record the sale of the finished goods. How much material is issued for production, what is the wastage, how many units are produced and ready for sale, all that we don't record. Followed or not? So what is non-integrated system? Costing books are separate, financial books are separate. Now, if costing and financial books are separate, do you need to reconcile the profit? Yes. This is your first type of the question which we are discussing now. Second is T format accounts, how you have to prepare. Very easy, very scoring, and the best part is when this question comes, it comes for 10 marks. Very scoring. Okay, so let us now discuss how we are going to solve the problems for reconciliation first. Second is the T format accounts. Now, why there's a need for reconciliation? The cost sheet is giving the costing profit and the financial books, trading P&L is giving the net profit. Now, these net profits will not reconcile. Yeah, these profits will not be same. Why? Because in cost sheet, we are not taking some, see, there are three reasons basically why there's a difference between the costing P&L's profit and financial. Understand this orally. I will share the screen. I will share the problems also. Listen now. First important reason is there are so many expenses we are taking in the P&L account. Interest on loan, losses on sale of machinery, all these we don't take into account in the cost sheet. So this is one of the reasons there are expenses and income. In financial books, you may have taken dividend receipt, but in the costing books, you don't take other income. You don't take irrelevant abnormal expenses. This is one of the reasons for your difference in the costing profit and financial profit. The second important reason is in the costing books, the closing stock valuation is different and in accounts it is different. In accounts, you value closing stock as per AS2, cost or NRV. Here, how do you value closing stock in the cost sheet? Cost of the production 10,000 units, less closing stock 1,000 units, you do it. Got it? So this is the way you do the reconciliations. Second reason, that is the closing stock valuation. Third reason for the reconciliation is the method and the format what you are following. One reason for the difference is under over absorption of overheads. There are three kind of overheads we consider. One is the factory overhead, one is the admin overhead, and third one is the selling and distribution overhead. So now these factory overhead and all may be absorbed at a predetermined rate, 1,000 units at the rate of 8,000. But actual factory overhead may be less or more. I hope you are getting. In financial books, we take actual factory overhead 8,000. In cost sheet, we take the factory overhead at predetermined rate 6,000. So what are the three reasons? It's not that only three items will come in the reconciliation, but what are the important three reasons for the reconciliation? Yes. What's the first one? Stock valuation. Second one, debit and credit. Financial books, some items are losses and all are debited, receive this, which you don't record it. And third is under over absorption of overhead. Now, when you start with reconciliation, you should know you are doing either cost sheet. If it is not prepared in exam, prepare the cost sheet. Get the costing profit. P&L account usually given, if not prepare trading P&L, and then do reconciliation. Very important is reconciliation. It is also called as memorandum reconciliation statement. Reconciliation statement is not a part of books of accounts, non-integrated or integrated. It's prepared on a separate paper, like the bank reconciliation statement. So usually when you prepare memorandum reconciliation account, it's particulars amount. When you prepare memorandum reconciliation statement, it is particulars amount. When they ask you in exam, prepare memorandum reconciliation account, then it is T format account. Is this clear to all of you? Ma'am, they asked memorandum reconciliation account, but I to know statement, add list. I did statement, they will not give you marks. Account or statement में कोई फर्क नहीं है, I'll tell you. Very important is where do you stand? मतलब where do you start? If you are starting with costing profit, and if costing stock is 2 rupees closing stock, financial books is 3 rupees. You make your stock also 3 rupees. कर लो. So what is your costing stock? 2 rupees. Financial stock 3 rupees. 1 rupees if you increase the costing stock. What will be the impact on the profit? Profit will increase. Add. So decide where you are standing. You are standing in the costing P&L account. First thing. Is it clear to all of you? Second is what financial books have done. We can't go and say to others, you do this, you scratch this, you change this. Whatever they have done, if we give the impact in our books also, it will tell you. Well, same they do with the BRS. Chant with our books or the bank books. And then do exactly mistakes in our books, mistakes in the bank books and all. When we do, we get the answer. So here I am sharing the screen with all of you, our booster notes for the reconciliation. Reason for difference in cost accounting, under overvaluation of the overheads. In costing books, overhead is absorbed at predetermined rate per unit and all. In financial books, overhead is charged on the actual basis. In costing books, closing stock is valued at per unit rate. As you prepare the cost sheet, all of you know. In financial books, closing stock is charged as per AS2. And in costing books, you don't usually take the rent paid to owner and opportunity cost and all. In financial books, you do take loss on sale of fixed asset, goodwill written off, interest income and all. Generally start with the costing P&L and do all add and less based on the impact on costing profit. Yes, instead of memorandum reconciliation statement, if account is asked, start with the costing profit on credit side. Whatever you are doing, add and add credit. And whatever you are doing less, that is to be debited. In costing books, instead of profit, if there is a loss, put it in bracket, but the add less concept will be same. I hope you are getting. I am starting with net profit as per costing books. Instead of profit, if there is net loss, still it will have the net loss है तो आप bracket में लिखो minus, but the add less concept will have same effect. Are you feeling you are doing DRS? Then answer is yes. So this is the booster note. 1 minute. Let us see our regular notebook and I'll share the format also with all of you. Yeah, this is the cost accounting system. How to prepare ledgers and all I will tell you. But first I want to take the reconciliation. ये देखो. Profit as per the costing books. Add interest on own capital, rent on own building. You have not taken such income, but financial books have taken the income. No, you also take. And if you have debited some expense, financial books have not debited, add back. Are you getting or not? Suppose you have paid interest on own capital, rent on own building, but financial books have taken. Okay, or you have taken and financial books have not taken. Because you debited interest on capital and rent on old building, your profit is less, add back. Now, there are some incomes which are taken in only in the financial books. Dividend received, rent received, transfer. You didn't take, you also take it. So your credit and their credit is same. Now, overvaluation हमेशा add ही होगा, undervaluation ऐसे नहीं है. Routine class एक step पे I explain with the help of reading the problem, do the adjustment. But यहाँ पे देखते हैं कैसे होगा. That less the items in the financial books. If they have paid income tax, goodwill and all, you also deduct it. Now, over absorption of overhead in costing books. In costing books, overhead is 10, whereas in financial books, it is 8. You have charged 2 rupees extra overhead. You reduce your overhead, profit will increase. So add. Over absorption of overhead in costing books. Same way. Under absorption, less में आ रहा है. You have absorbed less, now you charge more. You just absorbed 6, whereas actual overhead was 8. So you do less more. और 2 रुपए कम कर दो. Over absorption of opening stock. Add. पर ये add ही होगा, ऐसे रटो मत. Listen. You are in which books? Costing profit. Costing में opening stock is overvalued. Higher the opening stock, lower the profit, lower the GP. So if costing books में opening stock is overvalued, reduce the value. If you reduce opening stock, profit will increase, hence add. Undervaluation of closing stock also add. Listen to the reason. In costing books, closing stock is 7. Whereas in financial books, it is 9. How much closing stock you have credited less? 2 rupees. If you credit now, if you increase closing stock, what will be the impact on profit? Increase. So add कर दो. Same way. And ये सब less हो रहा है. But क्यों less हो रहा है ना? We should know logic. Overvaluation of closing stock. In our books, if closing stock is overvalued, 10. Whereas financial books it is 7. So closing stock की value कम कर दो. If you reduce the closing stock, what is the impact on the profit? The profit will reduce. This is one of my favorite chapters, and please do it logically. You will get full out of full marks. बट्टीफाई करोगे, अरे मैम पूरा करेक्ट लिखा लेकिन ऐड का लेस किया, लेस का ऐड किया. तो रटो मत. That overvaluation of opening stock always add. It depends upon which profit you are starting. And overvaluation is in which books, costing books or financial books. Is this much clear or you want more reasoning? This was memorandum reconciliation statement. Now, if they ask you memorandum reconciliation account, T format account, start with the profit. They have started with financial books. You can start with any profit. A financial profit में जो भी add करना है, add means credit and debit. You can start with the costing profit also, and costing में whatever is added, add, whatever is deducted, take it here. Reconciliation, very good problems are there. Sometimes exclusively they can give you the reconciliation also. Then if the reconciliation is given, can you prepare the T format ledgers? Answer is yes. This is all, in a circle. Ledgers बनाओ, cost sheet बनाओ, reconcile करो. अगर reconciliation दिया है, cost sheet दिया है, can you make the ledgers? Yes. Now tell me, for once, what are the reasons of reconciliation? Under overvaluation of overhead, under overvaluation of stock, and exclusive items in the financial books and costing book. एक problem solved भी दिखते हैं ना? 5 minutes extra it will take. We will check in our routine notebook. 3 months coaching is given in routine, and there we do all this. Yeah. I've made them write journal entries भी पूछते हैं ना नॉन इंटीग्रेटेड अकाउंट्स में. पहले तो नॉन इंटीग्रेटेड ही करो, फिर इंटीग्रेटेड करो. See, seventh problem. P&L account was not there. We prepared it. Trading P&L, routine, work in progress के साथ and all. Cost sheet is not there. But see, in cost sheet, manufacturing overhead is charged fixed 288, whereas here manufacturing expense is 245. And now do the reconciliation. So start with the costing profit. Okay? Are you all with me? Forget about the figures. Look and concentrate on the concept. तो कॉस्टिंग प्रॉफिट ले लो. नाउ एक एक आइटम करके देखना है. सेल इज सेम, क्लोजिंग स्टॉक इज 150, financial books here closing stock is 170. Is closing stock overcharged in our books? Yes. So now you reduce it. You reduce the closing stock, the profit will reduce. So what you will do? Less. Are you getting कब less करना है, कब add करना है? Now come to the debit side. Material 355, 360 same है यहाँ भी 355, 360. Manufacturing overhead in financial books you have charged direct straight 245. In cost sheet you have charged some per unit or per 288. So manufacturing overhead is overcharged in our books. तो कम करो. If you reduce manufacturing expense, the profit will increase. So add manufacturing overhead over absorb, add. Come down. GP is fine. Interest received you have taken in this profit 232, whereas in financial books you have not taken. So there also you add interest received. In financial books they have taken, in cost sheet you have not taken. So now you add. हो गया. ये हमने कर लिया, ये हमने कर लिया और ये हो गया. I hope you are able to solve full-fledged problem. इतने बड़े नहीं आते. Many times they give you the P&L and all printed, but just same. Come on the debit side. Office expense are 240. Here office expense are 250. Again office expense are overcharged. Reduce. Reduce means if you reduce the office expenses in costing books which is overcharged, office expense को कम करो, profit will increase. At over absorption. आ गया? Now, what is the selling expense? 2 lakh. Here, what is the selling expense? Per unit, predetermined rate रहता है. Number of units sold multiplied by per unit, 180. There it is 2 lakh. So, 20,000. Selling overhead, you have charged less in the costing books. There you have charged 2 lakh. In costing, you have charged 1,80,000 per unit, 1. So you charge more. If you charge 20,000 more, what is the impact on profit? It will reduce. Less. Now, next. कहाँ थे हम? Office हो गया, closing stock हो गया, selling overhead हो गया, and now all these donation, interest, preliminary, provisions and all. These are non-cash goodwill written off. All these you record in financial books. You have not recorded in the cost sheet. So now if you record in cost sheet, the profit will reduce less, and so you are getting this profit as per the financial books. You started with the profit as per costing books and financial books 232 exactly profit what you have got in the P&L. Now, if they give the reconciliation in the exam and other details, will you be able to prepare the cost sheet or T format accounts? Yeah. And instead of T format, if they ask you add less, start with the costing P&L, credit side, पूरे add की items credit करना. Don't write in one line. All add items you credit it directly here, and less items debit, you will get it. Tell me, was this all clear? I shared you my theory material. I shared with you my booster notes. I shared with you the regular classwork also. Now, is this clear to all of you? How to reconcile? I know I've taken a little more detailed time, but then this is important. Non-integrated accounts. Ledgers banana. Ledgers should be prepared in sequence, right or not? Stores ledger, stock ledger, then raw material purchase, direct labor. In the sequence in which you prepare the cost sheet, you prepare the ledgers, you will never go wrong. And what is integrated costing? Costing and financial books are prepared together. In non-integrated, you have all the detailed account, stock, wages, production, factory overhead, all. But you don't have cash, bank, datas, creditors, fixed assets. These are the accounts which are maintained by the provisions, share capital. ये सब accounts non-integrated में नहीं है because these are the accounts maintained by financial books. But if it is integrated, then all accounts you will prepare at it. In non-integrated, whatever accounts are missing, cash, bank, datas, creditors, to represent that we prepare a control account called as general ledger adjustment account. General ledger. Yeah, this name has come from self-balancing ledger. So shall I tell you how to prepare the ledgers? Directly चलो एक problem देखते हैं उसमें समझ में आएगा. ये देखो, ये तो this is the reconciliation का problem, no? See, these are all the ledgers. Journal entries also I make them right in. ये देखो, stores ledger. How the stores ledger looks? It's like your stock. So opening stock, whatever you purchase, stores ledger debit to GLA because we don't have cash bank. Then whatever stock is issued to work in progress, इसको लिख दो, transfer. Whatever stock is issued, return. When you purchase the stock, stores to GLA. When you return, GLA to stores, and closing balance. There could be normal, abnormal loss also if it is not tallied. After stores ledger, we prepare wages. Whatever wages you incur, wages account debit to GLA, incurred. But whatever wages you incur can be divided into direct and indirect wages. Indirect wages will go to factory overhead. ये रहा. Direct wages will go to work in progress. Just look at the format. I'll share the booster notes also. Now come to factory overhead. In factory overhead, whatever factory overhead you incurred, to bank की जगह to GLA. Yes. And in factory overhead, indirect wages will also come. Some material which you have issued for repairs and all will also come. Factory overhead is always absorbed in work in progress. So now factory overhead incurred is 1,05,000, but absorbed is say only 85, and some 15 was opening and all. So remaining 5,000, if it is under over absorption, either you can charge to costing P&L or you can carry forward. मैम कैसे पता चलेगा कैरी फॉरवर्ड करना है? अगर ओपनिंग बैलेंस है तो क्लोजिंग को भी बैलेंस. मैम बोथ आर कमिंग ऑन द सेम साइड, इज इट फाइन? यस, एब्सोल्युटली फाइन. Work in progress. Work in progress means the material which is in between. Some balance will be there, some work in progress is there. Add direct labor. Work in progress is like factory. In that already some work is in progress. Add direct material from the stores ledger. Add direct labor. Add factory overhead. Factory overhead is absorbed in work in progress. From work in progress, whatever finished goods are ready, it will go to finished goods account and balance will continue 185. Next year it will become open. Can I say work in progress is like your production house? Already something is in progress. Add direct material, direct labor, factory overhead. Indirect labor went to factory overhead, but from factory overhead it came here only. And finished goods which are ready by closing balance contain. Administrative overhead, whatever you incurred GLA account को debit करना credit करना है. I mean say administrative means office related expense if you incurred, office debit to bank, and it is absorbed in the finished goods. Finished goods means your stock account. Work in progress is like your production house. Already you had opening finished goods. Some more finished goods are added. Now whatever finished goods are sold, transfer it to cost of sales. Remaining in stock. Acha, whatever goods are sold, finished goods credit, cost of sales debit. So whatever finished goods are returned back to go down. जो sales से वापस आ गए, finished goods debit to cost of sales return. Take your time. When finished goods are sold, finished goods are going out, credit, bye-bye. Cost of sales, debit, reverse. And closing balances, these many goods are still with stock. Selling overhead, if incurred, sales related delivery times, maintenance, depreciation, driver's salary, and all. Selling overhead debit to GLA. Why? Selling overhead is always absorbed in cost of sales. These many goods have come for sale, 175. Add selling overhead if any. And if there are any returns, 9,000. Sales, cost of sales credit karo. And this is to be debited. And then balance carried down. What is balance carried down here? Balance is not generally carried down. This is transferred to costing P&L. But costing P&L है नहीं problem में तो छोड़ दो. And general ledger account is the control account. And then you prepare the trial balance. After you prepare all the ledgers in exam, generally they are asking you to prepare trial balance. And your trial balance agrees means your problem is correct. But internally, if there is a mistake, the final total will be correct, but you will lose step marks. Journal entries लिखते आना चाहिए. I'll share with you the material. I was just seeing कि cost of sales के बाद क्या होता है. Yeah, cost of sales में selling overhead add किया तो you are getting 2,04,800 which should go to costing P&L and whatever goods you sell. What is the journal entry for sale? Party to sales. Here GLA to sales because data are not there. That sales you bring on the credit side. Cost of the sales debit, you get GP. In GP, some under over absorption which you have transferred to costing P&L adjust and you get the final profit. Final profit 48,000 is transferred to costing P&L if it is non-integrated. If it is integrated, then this profit will directly go to the P&L account credit side, share capital, all is there. So I will share with you 1 second the main material first, जहाँ से आप पढ़ के भी कर सकते हैं. Yeah, this is it. Journal entries. We should all know. What are the journal entries? Journal entries in the financial books and non-integrated, like if material is purchased, here to purchase to cash. In non-integrated, raw material control account or stores control account to GLA. Here, raw material control account to cash. Clear to all of you? Now, direct material purchased and issued directly. Material godown में गया ही नहीं, सीधा factory में चलेगी. Special purchases. Work in progress debit to GLA. If it is integrated, work in progress to cash. And here the same, purchase to cash, financial goods. Once you do this, you should put your hands and see if you're able to answer these entries or not. Are you getting what I'm saying? समझ में आ रहा है आपको? Same way returns, reverse the entry. Material आया तो raw material to GLA, गया तो GLA to raw material. When material is issued for capital work in progress, factory related work, matlab capitalization, capital work in progress to raw material. If raw material is issued for production, work in progress to raw material, same work in. And when raw material is issued to production, in financial books, we don't pass any entry. Am I going fast? Financial books integrated, ये साथ में ही करना. When production से store room वापस जा रहा है, financial books no entry. But here, of course, raw material control account is debited and your production house work in progress is credited. Logic से करो, you will get the entry. When material is issued for repairing work, repairs debit to purchases. Purchase stock is reducing, repairs. Here, factory overhead debit to raw material. Why factory overhead? Repairs is related to factory overhead to raw material. Okay? When goods are transferred from one department to another, no entry is recorded. Clear to all of you? Normal loss is not recorded in books and abnormal loss है, तो raw material को credit करो and abnormal loss है, तो charge it off to the costing P&L. Right. When you pay wages in accounts, wages to bank, in their wages to GLA, in integrated, wages will be debited, but we have, in integrated, we have cash, bank, datas, all the accounts. Now, here, khatam, story khatam, all shortcut in financial books. Kitna material issue kiya, kitna वापस आया, how much is losses, no. Material purchase, finished goods sold. Same way, wages pay. Here, wages credit karke, if direct wages are there, are absorbed in work in progress. Indirect wages will go to factory. And for any abnormal reason, if you're giving wages, costing P&L. So like these journal entries, you want me to check all factory overhead and admin and all incurred to GLA. And then factory overhead is absorbed in work in progress. Administrative overhead is absorbed in finished goods. I think I have written booster notes over there. I will explain. And because I'm explaining this format from here, there are very important to, you know, you isko 5-star खिलाओ, KitKat खिलाओ, कितने बार exam में आता है. What are the essential prerequisites to install integrated account system? Means your financial books and your costing books are combined. So what do you need? You just need to decide how much you want to integrate, till what level. Different heads will be prepared, no? Heads of income and all, heads of expense. So codification will be required. Year-ending procedure, prepaid, outstanding, overheads, that you have to. You need qualified staff. You need lot of coordination. So these are the requisites for installation of integrated system. But what are the benefits? If you put both the system in one account, no need for reconciliation. You will save lot of time. There would be no delay ki let two books come, we will reconcile. And all the accounting would be centralized. Yeah? Features of accounting. ये सब basic questions हैं, ये पूछते हैं exam में. Now, how to remember ये जो ledgers आप बना रहे हैं ना, I'll show you. ये regular ledgers समझ में आए आपको कैसे बनाया? And instead of GLA, if you have that detailed, yeah, this one is there. I have prepared provision for doubtful debts and all the accounts, and then this concept of reconciliation, routine class. Chalo, I'll share something with you which will be really helpful to you. The feedback given by students in costing, for sure they are getting exemption. And exemption not 65 and 70, above 80, 82, 88, 89. These are the marks in costing. And the reason is they have written these booster notes. I can print and give you these ready booster notes. ये पढ़ के जाना करके दिमाग में तो समझ में आना चाहिए ना. Like now if I say read, what are the reasons? You know, because you have followed. Like that, While preparing T format accounts, you need to remember few things. I have to go scroll करना नहीं आ रहा मुझे यहाँ पे, पता है, same है, literally I am telling. अभी labor overhead चला गया, overhead. I hope you all have already watched the revision video for overhead also. Yeah, here we go. Non-integrated accounts. Costing books are maintained separately. Stores ledger. Stores ledger means what? Balancing figure क्या आता है? Raw material consumed. And it is transferred to work in progress. Yes or no? उसके बाद wages बनाओ. Wages में direct wages transferred to work in progress, direct labor. Indirect wages transferred to factory overhead. Then make factory overhead. It is absorbed in work in progress. Then make work in progress. Work in progress is like your production house, opening work in progress and all. Finished goods are transferred to finished goods. Balance work in progress will continue. See, remember one thing. You will have closing balance in raw material stock account. Wages, no closing balance. Factory overhead, unless over under absorption is carried forward, no closing balance. Work in progress तो है ना? कुछ ना कुछ तो work in progress will be there. Administrative overhead is absorbed in finished goods. Finished goods is like your stock account. Whatever is sold, transferred to cost of sales, remaining will be there. Selling overhead banao, finished goods ke niche. Are you feeling as if you are preparing a cost sheet? Factory overhead, opening work in progress, closing. Cost sheet is the base of this chapter. After work in progress, add administrative overhead. Then opening stock of finished goods. You know the way you prepare cost sheet, ऊपर से नीचे, that's the same T format account, left and right. आ जाओ नीचे, left and right. आ जाओ नीचे, right? Selling, these are not buttified notes. You understand and do. Selling overhead is absorbed in cost of sales. Cost of sales is transferred to costing P&L debit side. Sales is transferred to costing P&L credit side. Costing P&L will give you GP. Adjust unabsorbed losses and all. And final profit transfer to GLA if it is non-integrated. Okay? Under absorption of the factory overhead, है ना? Factory overhead. Either you can carry forward the balance. They'll say in the exam. Or transfer to costing P&L or charge supplementary rate. Same thing we have done in overhead chapter. Nothing is given then while preparing factory overhead ledger in the non-integrated accounts. Mein, whatever factory overhead is under over absorbed, adjust it in costing P&L. Unless they say don't do the balance carried down. Now come to integrated accounting system. Here costing and financial books are all maintained together. So instead of preparing GLA account, you will prepare all the real and personal accounts. Cash, bank, data, creditors, fixed assets, share capital, and so on. Clear to all of you? Under absorption of admin overhead ऐसे करोगे, under absorption of selling, ये तो आपको मैंने बताया. हाँ, अब ये ध्यान में रखना है आपको. Factory overhead is always absorbed in work in progress. Administrative overhead is always absorbed in finished goods. That is your cost of the production. Selling overhead, you remember? Factory and admin overhead is charged for number of units produced. Selling overhead is charged for number of units sold. So it is always absorbed in cost of sales. Will you be able to remember this sequence of preparing the ledger? Starts with stores ledger, wages. After the stores ledger and wages, what will you prepare? Work in progress. Factory overhead and then work in progress. Admin overhead, finished goods. Selling overhead, cost of sales. Costing P&L. Last is GL. If you practice solved problems of institute left and right, sure you will be able to do. This is ये जो मैं आपको screens बता रही हूँ ना, booster notes and all. Frankly, I was not sure whether I should share or not because There are people who are saying it's their idea and misusing, but ठीक है, knowledge is knowledge. आप booster notes को लिखो एक बार, like when you decide factory overhead is always absorbed in work in progress, understand, administrative overhead is always absorbed in finished good. तो ये जब आप याद कर रहे हो, your cost sheet, your integrated, and when you combine these chapters and learn, are you not feeling in non-integrated so much of cost sheet we have discussed? Cost sheet separate question is there. This is separate question. Exam, so you have to write 3 hours. You have to put in all your knowledge. And reconciliation is super easy. Hold on to where you are standing. I am standing in costing. Costing closing stock is 7. Financial is 6. 1 rupee costing का closing stock ज़्यादा है, कम करो. Costing का closing stock कम किए तो what's the impact on profit? See, this is called as mind mapping flowcharts. This is called as oral revision. Of course, you cannot do costing orally. You have to pick up your pen, read the problem, solve it like this. But sometimes when you, in between your accounts, your taxation, if you keep on revising the booster notes, if you say hi, hello, so you have it in your mind. Okay, ये ऐसे है, ये ऐसे करना है, and you will do super. Honestly, I'm taking lot of effort to combine my theory book, my regular notebook, my booster notebook, सब ready करके दिमाग लगा के फिर recording करते हैं. बहुत सारा time और energy लगता है. And I don't have 5 minutes pause कि चलो you try what I have said and I'm here and then I will take next. It's like non-stop speaking. So if this is really helpful, share it with at least 5 of your friends. Those who feel nahi non-integrated na bada confusing chapter, I'm telling you, it's my favorite, more favorite than material labor only. Super scoring, super easy. Accounts है ना थोड़ा सा debit तो और मजा आता है. So enjoy this, share this knowledge. Comment below whether you really followed this or not. And all the theory and all these notes are available in the app link given below, right? Thank you so much for watching the video till end. Signing off now. See Dipti Chheda here. Look into this space. The next upcoming video is coming for service costing. Yes. So more revision videos will come. Hit the like and the notification. Like बिल्कुल बनता है ना. और notification को subscribe करो, hit करो तो कोई भी नया video upload होगा, will come to know. So that's super fast along with your regular studies with this revision videos. Put headphones, watch full screen, listen and enjoy the revision. All the best to all of you. Bye-bye.